Oh, yes, the sweet sounds of another episode of the Social Distance Drinking Club. Guys, I'm so excited for tonight. It's like a night out. It's like a Thursday night out, only we can't go out, I think. Maybe. I'm not sure. Can we go out? Most places, but some of these places we can't. But here we are. It's Social Distance Drinking Club. Thank you guys for joining us. As always, we start the show with a simple and very easy question. What are you drinking? Tell us in the comments. We've got some great guests tonight. We've got Mr. Ryan Sandlin joining us from Dark Sky Brewing Company. We've got Aaron, a.k.a. Doc DeFeo, joining us, Little Rituals and Bitter. We're going to talk to both of them about what they've got going on, business, life, drinks, delicious foods, even who knows? It's all sorts of stuff. But Mr. Redford, what are you drinking?
So I decided we might as well pull out all the stops with our guests. So I am having my very last can of barrel-aged Cielo Oscuro.
Ooh, hard flex. Hard flex, man. Really hard flex. Hey guys, what are you drinking?
I mean,
Got it. Okay, well, that saves a few minutes of the show. So I think we'll go ahead and just tap into some Black is Beautiful. But this one is the Dark Sky Black is Beautiful. Obviously, you guys are familiar with this. This came from a lot of breweries. It was a collaborative effort. And as it says on the can, brewed to support justice and equality for people of color. We love it. It was a collaboration with Weathered Souls. They kicked it off. We'll hear some more about that in a moment. You got it.
That's nice. That's nice.
That's nice.
Adam and Brett, where'd you get those beers?
Oh, from you, of course.
That's why I'm out.
God, thank you.
Not me, pal.
Yeah.
Same place you got the hat.
Oh, that's nice too.
Our dear
the man who brewed this, where this came from. This is delicious.
Our friend Chef Chris up in Cottonwood gave me this can, personally handed it to me. I traded him another can, so I think it was fair. And also, I kind of maybe sort of gave him, shared the can you gave me, Brett, from Barbarian, right? Is that the name? Indeed. Well, guys, tell us what you're drinking in the comments. We want to see what everyone else has in their glass. If it's a glass of water, I don't care. Just tell me if you added maybe like some of those flavor drops or something. But, you know.
In a way, we did.
Kind of. A little bit. PJ says we teabagged out of Ledford. It's kind of like the Xbox Halo move. But he also says he's drinking a cherry limeade sour by Goldwater. I haven't had it yet. Looking forward to trying it. Matthew Nats, I hope it's Nats and not Knats, silent K, is Rogue Dreamland. I don't know what that is. Anybody know what that is? I don't know.
What's up, Matt?
Fair. Gentlemen, happy Thursday. We got a guest. And I don't want to make anybody wait. I'm excited. We've waited a while to venture into the far north. Last week, I got to make it as far as Cottonwood, but did not drive further to Flagstaff so that I could harass him personally myself and kick down the doors. But somehow someone has found a way to virtually kick down the doors to Dark Sky, which rumor has it might have some delicious pop-up pizza. They say, from a place that ends in Cleta and starts with pizza.
It's real good, y'all. I'm not going to lie. It's real good.
I know. It's real good pizza. But like I said, tell us what you're drinking in the comments. We'd like to know. Without further ado, would someone like to introduce our guest? I'm going to step away for a moment and allow you the honors.
How about this? He is the brewer and owner of Dark Sky Brewing Company. He's probably tired of hearing me either simultaneously praise or bitch, and mainly praise and gush all over their beers all the time. But welcome. I don't know which side he's going to pop up on.
There you go.
Sandlin, what's up, man?
What up?
So we
had a small crowd back here. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, these guys. First and foremost, thank you for being a part of.
Did I hear him say we have a small crowd? And did someone whistle and almost? It sounded like someone stuck two fingers in their mouth and went.
Yeah.
This is my dad at a Buffalo Bills game after O.J. Simpson got arrested. Like, that's just. What just? All right. Anyways, sorry, Ryan, please.
I was just going to say, first and foremost, thanks for being a part of the Black is Beautiful project with Weathered Souls. That's pretty righteous of you guys. Obviously, we got it down here at Caps and Corks because you guys were willing to let them be an outlet for it because they were donating 100% of the proceeds to local organizations. So thanks. And also thanks for making it ridiculously, stupidly tasty. It's one of the best beers I've had this entire year. Well, guys, what do you think? You're enjoying it now. What do you think?
I absolutely think it's one of the best beers you've had this entire year. I agree. It's delicious. It's really good.
Personally, I have not had a chance to have more than probably 3 or 4 of your beers this year at the moment, just because with COVID and everything, I think we've spent a lot of time locally. But this is one of the best beers you guys have had a chance to put in my mouth all year.
You guys are saying this stuff so weird.
I don't want to lie to anybody. This shit's delicious.
No. It was better. I'm actually really excited to see as it warms up because it seems to have the flavor profile of something that's going to get nice in a few minutes.
Yeah, that cardamom pops warms up a little bit. But anyway, thanks as always for making some beer.
We were a little heavy-handed with the cardamom, admittedly.
So?
Not at all. Personally,
heavy-handed with the cardamom beer name?
Heavy-handed with the cardamom would be a great name. Personally, culturally, cardamom is like a thing we do, right? My family makes Turkish coffee on a regular basis. My grandmother grinds up fresh cardamom seeds and the fresh beans to make her own Turkish coffee. She actually flew from overseas with like a pound of it for me. I've still got some in here, and it is incredible coffee. So cardamom, maybe I just grew up with it, but I really appreciate that flavor being in here.
It's the secret ingredient in the best hot chocolate too. It's a little bit of cardamom and some homemade marshmallows.
But Ryan, so you put this beer together. What else you guys got going on up at Dark Sky right now? For those of us who can't get up to the Pines or are interested in maybe getting up there, what do you guys have going on right now?
Well, during all this, we kind of took a turn and started emptying barrels left and right. So we've got some pretty cool barrel-aged beers on tap right now, including this one. This is a 12-month-old barley wine aged in Weller and Blanton barrels that we got from Park Plaza Liquor Deli.
Leave right now.
Destruction by definition, batch 2. And this one goes out to John Rowley because he's been talking shit for months and months and months.
I was gonna say you have to chug it because it's a barley wine.
Boy. Oh, look at the flex.
Oh, hard flex.
By the way, if you want to flirt with Adam Green, that was a pretty good way to do it. Talk barley wine to him and then chug it.
No, I was looking at the time. If I leave right now, I could get to Flagstaff by, I don't know, 10 o'clock, probably.
Yeah, you could probably make it.
Yeah, I think so.
They'll give you a clan.
We're expecting to get some of those cans down to Phoenix and Tucson, hopefully, in the coming weeks. It's a little too hot down there to be transporting beer.
I'm on my way out the door. I'm leaving right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be here.
The way that Yusuf drives, you'll see him by 9:15. So have the funnel ready in the parking lot. It'll be great.
But by the way, Yusuf does things on schedule. He'll be there by 9:15 tomorrow morning.
Fair enough.
But
Hey,
Ryan, you're talking about that, it's too hot to be transporting beer. I know your beer, though, ends up in Phoenix quite often, and it even ends up in Tucson. Like, what's that like getting your beer from, the Great Pines of Flagstaff just all across the state here?
So typically I'll show up in the morning and load the truck and kind of just do my route. West Valley, downtown, East Valley, and then I just head straight to Tucson, turn around and come home. I did that several times during all this. Long hours, but totally worth it. Our footprint grew, I think, through all this, which is pretty crazy to say.
That's out of necessity, probably.
Did we have a green freeze?
I think we had a green freeze. Ooh, we
But
might,
of course,
we might have a Sandlin free. Oh no, there he is. There he is. Ryan, so obviously it's hot as balls. We already talked about that. Not good for beer transport, but Flagstaff is usually the place that we think of in fantasies, where it's 10 to 15 to 20 degrees cooler. And you guys have that rockin' patio. How is it up there right now? Just lie to us if it's hot.
It's been pretty good. Today was hot, admittedly, and I know I'll catch some shit for it, but it was 91, and that's hot here. You know, there's no AC anywhere. It is hot. But yeah, it's been busy. Everybody from the valley's been up here. It's our sales been steady, which is nice.
Did we end up in a situation where we found ourselves with Flagstaff internet because their water is good, but their Wi-Fi not so much? Maybe, you know. Ryan, can you hear us? And if you can, give us a thumbs up. If you can't, come back later. I don't know.
All right,
We're good.
Good.
So it's been
We think our Wi-Fi is a little clogged up right now.
it's all good. Hey, you guys have I mean, it's been it feels like almost a few months or not a year since you put in the pizza oven with Pizza Clutta. How's that going? How's that changed the business?
It's been awesome, especially for this because now we're basically like a seated pub style thing. Yeah, it's been interesting, but you know, it's all seated service, the beer, the food, the whole thing.
Yeah, I had that when we came up and we had we just grabbed like to-go beers because we were just trying to keep the seats available for other folks. But we ordered pizzas to go and crawlers to go, and I had that bee's knees, and holy shit, that was amazing.
Yeah, it's their top seller by like a long way.
I can see why. I mean, sweet and spicy sausage and honey on fresh-made oven-fired pizza. I'm in. That's all there is.
So I want to take a second to catch some people up because we got people who watch in different states, and actually, for some fucking reason, people in Denmark and England watch this show, and I'm not mad about it. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's fantastic. Thanks for joining us. But Ryan, you're up in northern Arizona. For reference, for those of you who don't know, Phoenix and Flagstaff are about 2 hours and 40 minutes apart. So he's about 2 hours and 40 minutes north of us. It's a lot cooler up there. It was 117 degrees here today. What was the weather out there today, Ryan?
Yeah, it's been real nice. Yeah, can't complain.
A lot of people from down here have been making their way up there. What are you seeing in terms of like business right now? Because I haven't had a chance to make it up. I wanted to last week. I'm sorry I couldn't, but I know that some people have made their way up there. The weekends have been kind of busy. Last weekend was a little bit busy. There was even, I think someone told me, like a 90-minute wait because you guys were keeping things spaced out and comfortable in your tap room.
Yep.
So how's it been? Has it picked up? Have things gotten busier with the with kind of the pop-up Pizza Clutta in the back situation? Has that helped a bit?
Well, we had them going last summer, and that like really drove us, at an upward angle. So coming into this, yeah, it's been great. Like we've stood our ground on, keeping people distance, making them wait. And for the most part, everyone's been pretty cooperative. You got your outliers who are upset about it, but like, what are you going to do? Like that's not our choice.
Sure.
But yeah, surprisingly, it's been flowing nice. We've been selling a lot of beer, a lot of cans to go. Yeah, can't complain.
And I know that some of our favorite spots up there can't open right now, for example. Like the Monty V was an old standby when Adam Green and I were up there. Adam Ledford did not go. Adam and I were up there for Made in the Shade. Mm-hmm. Yes. And the Monty V was like the spot where I could drink half a bottle of Fernet and then wake up in the morning and feel perfectly fine.
But that was always that weekend, too. You'd end up at Dark Sky for the non-beer festival event, Paid in the Shade, usually. And that's always a good time, too. And, yeah.
Yeah, it's our middle finger to the man.
How weird did it feel to go through the month of June and July and realize there wasn't going to be a Made in the Shade, there was no Paid in the Shade, there's no beer festivals for us to go to, right? So you guys weren't able to be a part of that, and that one's in your hometown.
Yeah. I mean, it was interesting leading into the summer. We knew those weekends that we kind of lean on to get us, I mean, we rock those weekends. So it was kind of tough knowing that we weren't going to have that. But just the overwhelming support of people buying beer to go and us getting cans down the hill. And it hasn't been all that bad, to be completely honest. I mean, it sucks. It's not ideal. We want to see this place busy and have all you guys in here hanging out with us, but it's just not possible. So this is I guess, best case scenario. And we can hope it goes away faster than, we're all thinking. But yeah, those weekends are huge for us, and not having them hurt big time.
For sure.
There's a question that came in here with a JK at the end, but I'm putting it up anyways. Distro to North Carolina from Mark Cada.
Chata.
Yeah, actually, we're breaking in North Carolina next month with a full distribution and everything. It's pretty crazy.
Hey, Mark. We'll talk later. I'll take care of you, man.
There can be distro to North Carolina.
Hey, and by take care of you, he means legally board a plane with a bag and fly to you with it in his hands.
He's coming to your house.
I would only use approved distribution channels, of course.
We got a question from Chris Macbeth. Ryan, do you guys have any gluten-free options? Example, cider or wheat-free brewing. He'd kill for a great Arizona-made gluten-free crisp Pilsner, stout, or IPA. I mean, you'd kill for a gluten-free beer is what I just read, Chris.
But if you say Pilsner to Ryan, you know that you're kind of you're softening the pathway a little bit.
So we don't have any gluten-free beer. We use an enzyme that removes gluten out of beer. So it's gluten reduced. We can't legally call it gluten-free. But my wife drinks it. She's highly gluten intolerant. I mean, we put it in all of our light beers. It helps with chill haze. It's a good thing to put in there anyway. And then we use twice the amount.
Did we get it?
Levels.
I had a Sandlin freeze for a minute. So you've got some reduced gluten. Chris, reach back out to them, man. Find their page on Instagram. Yes, JJM, Jonathan Jacob Mackey, you did indeed tune in for this.
Yeah,
So,
Ryan, I don't know if you're seeing the comment, but JJM he's being JJM right now.
Also, Mark, I can get you a solid coffee recipe. Maybe. We'll see.
He was drinking a coffee into the void. Did I see that somewhere in the comments?
Somewhere in there, indeed. Yep. Fair enough. Send me the photo, Jonathan. I'll put it up on the screen, man.
Into the Void is a phenomenal barley wine that I think I still have a bottle of in my fridge. I did not open that up tonight because that's
Coffee into the void.
It's a school night.
What the hell?
It's a Doma bottle of Into the Void.
That guy's an animal.
If for anybody who hasn't seen the Arizona Beer Enthusiast, JJM just magically gets certain coffee variants that you wouldn't even know existed in the real world. Hopefully we'll have a screenshot of that soon.
I hope so. You know what? It literally just popped up on my screen.
Pick it up and put it upside down. It's all good.
Hang tight. We may see it in a moment.
I know it's. Yeah.
So, Ryan, while we have you, I'm sure the guys have a couple of quick questions for you. And guys, if you have questions for Ryan Sandlin about anything Dark Sky related or about that thing around his neck that he's using as a mask and possibly to cool his neck in his lovely 89-degree weather, just throw it in the comments. Just let us know. Throw it in the comments. Tell us what you're drinking. Tell him what you think of his scarf.
Neck scarf is so hot right now. Ryan, how's the mountain biking going right now, man? I know that that's a passion of yours outside of work, and every once in a while I see a picture that just makes me really fucking jealous of the fact that you're up in the.
I was in Crested Butte for 4 days last weekend with all my Colorado brewery friends. So it's our annual trip we do every year. It was fun. Good to get away for a little bit.
For the folks who enjoy being up on two wheels, what are you riding these days?
I have a Kona Process 153, and then I also have a road bike. I don't like to admit to owning, but I do use that quite.
I'm in Tucson. All we have is roadie. Like that's all I get to do is ride on the paved surfaces or dirt that never changes in elevation. So
Yeah.
So I recently got into owning a mountain bike.
He owns a nice full suspension mountain bike.
Because of that guy, similar to this wonderful beer, I got the bike from Mr. Adam Ledford.
I'm a provider. What can I say?
Well, here's a good question before we get towards the close of this conversation. But biking or running, because everybody's looking for something to do when they're working out from home and gyms being closed. What's your preference? I'm going to put this out to the audience real quick because personally, I fucking hate running. I wrestled for 4+ years and I ran more than I needed to, and my knees got beat up. And the reason I stopped wrestling is because I tore my ACL, and then the other knee almost got to it. So like, I don't want to do that anymore. It sounds like a bunch of fun. But biking or running, Ryan, this goes to you, my friend. It's followed by a second question. You tell me.
Biking or running?
Adam what'd you say, Ryan?
Did you say biking or running?
Pick
Sorry,
one.
I got these clowns over here talking shit.
Which one?
Biking for sure. I can't run. My back's all messed up.
I can't do it either. I know Ledford would say probably biking too, right?
Well, so here's the thing, like, not a flex because I've mentioned it before, and it's just the truth. I used to be an Ironman triathlete a long time ago. But I mean, I biked and ran and swam for 14 hours a week. And I got to a point where I loved running. And I suddenly, like, one day was like, oh shit, running is amazing and it feels good. And then I was like, oh wait, that's just how I fucking felt about biking since the first day I ever got on a bike. Why did it take me a year to like running when I liked biking already? So now, fuck running.
All I saw just now in my head was the Family Guy episode of what's his face? Here I go. Boop. Brian going running and getting the runner's high. That's all.
Yeah.
The runner's high. That's all I got.
Important. These are things that people want to know.
All right, you're on the spot, Ryan, and you get to answer this one.
Oh, well.
Are you looking for your lawyer to give you a thumbs up?
Yeah, I need my lawyer for this one. Well, we made a couple different ones, so I mean, we can make it again. Like whatever.
Okay, that works.
We can make it next week.
I feel like there's a softball here that somebody pitched from within your realm of world.
Jeez, dude.
A mayonnaise pastry blessed.
Who's running your social media right now?
I don't know.
Oh, he's fired. That's who's doing it.
The 6 people making noise in that room that made Ryan hard to hear tonight are the people running his social media.
Yes.
I screenshotted that one for sure. I'm saving that for later. We're gonna have a talk.
Well, we have gotten past the biking or running question. I'm going to give everyone a couple of minutes to take a moment, and if you've got a question for Ryan, he'll be with us for a couple more minutes. I'm sure Ryan's going to be hanging out because he's got a crowd back there, and they're all going to watch the show and drink. And you guys can all crowd around the camera when you're backstage, and I may just pop you up for fun. Who knows? What is the next release that nobody knows about, and can you tell us about it before you tell the rest of the internet?
Is that for me?
Yeah, that was definitely for you because you don't make beer.
Can you repeat that? It cut out a little bit.
All right, tell us what your next release is that nobody knows about yet, and you can tell us right now without telling the rest of the internet. It's a secret.
Oh, well, we have Unholy Moly Batch 3 ready to go. It was a tequila barrel, 14-year-old Weller, and then they aged añejo in it for 4 years. The barrel's like 20-some years old. It's pretty crazy. Oh, no, I cut out.
Oh, you're good. We heard you, man.
Could you guys hear that?
Yes,
Yeah.
it sounded great.
It did. Anybody have any more questions for Ryan? Ryan, thank you so much for joining us. I know that Flagstaff doesn't have the best internet, but maybe we'll get you guys a Gigablast network soon. I plan on coming out to visit you, by the way. I do, probably in the next couple of weeks.
I was actually curious about the footprint that Dark Sky does have, Ryan. You said yours has grown over this time, which is crazy, but you got to hustle for that.
Yeah.
You're doing the deliveries yourself. You're going to the East Valley, the West Valley, to Tucson. Like, what is the goal for Dark Sky? Is it because people say, oh, there's great brewery in Flagstaff. Are there goals to expand really beyond the footprint that you guys have right now? Oh, no.
And to be completely honest, we talked about a Phoenix happening for quite a while. Whether that comes to fruition after all this is over, who knows? But it's always been on our radar.
I approve of the idea. If nothing else, I'm on board. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, dude, Ryan, what question haven't we asked you yet that you want to make sure that the people get to know while you got time here?
Right.
Don't make
Ryan's distracted.
Ryan, what do you want folks to know before you get off here? What's the lasting impression you want to leave with folks who might not be as familiar with Dark Sky?
Come enjoy the pizza and the beer and good times, man. No, it's we try and give you an experience every time you come here, and wide array of beers, and come enjoy the great outdoors, I guess, you know.
One last question for you, Ryan. Is the ascot back? Is that what's happening right now? Around the neck?
This? Yeah.
Is that an ascot? Oh, it's a mascot.
It's actually a mascot. Yes, a mascot.
That's a
Quick draw.
Long setup.
Yeah, he slow played that one.
Mr.
You guys mask shaming me right now?
We are not mask shaming you. We have our own masks. They're printed with our own logo. Does anybody have one handy so we can show everybody? And this is a great time to tell everybody, check it out. These are not for sale. They're custom, private, and sent to our industry friends and some friends of the show. However, you can get a T-shirt if you look at that link down there, socialdistancedrinkclub.com. Check out that shirt. Hang on a second, Adam. Keep flexing for us. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not flexing. My muscles aren't that big or pointy.
No, he's just wearing shoulder pads.
The shoulders on that guy are incredible.
I promise, you get this shirt, you'll look better than I do in it.
Indeed. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us. Feel free to hang out backstage. We do a nice toast at the end of the show, and you guys can watch it. I may pop you guys back up if you start, making weird scenes in the background. So we'll see.
Oh, man.
One thing I want. Hey Ryan, one more thing. Another thank you. We were up in Flagstaff, and the entire town seemed to be masks off, and it was a little disconcerting at first. And we went to Dark Sky, and we got some pizza, and we got some crowlers to go, and every single one of your employees was taking it incredibly seriously. We felt very safe and comfortable. Like, there was a lot of distance. It was obvious, even in that beautiful patio area that you guys have. They were taking it seriously, and we really appreciate that. So thanks for being kind of a bright point in a place that didn't seem to care as much. I'm being as diplomatic as I can be.
Awesome. Thank you. We appreciate that because we've all been working really hard around here and been stressing every day about it. So that's really good to hear.
It shows. It definitely should.
One last question from the audience. Andrew Kaufman says, post-COVID, considering any more tastings at the observatory. Ryan, this is for you, my friend. Hopefully. Internet, yes?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We love it up there. Those events up there are so much fun.
Awesome.
Rock on.
Thanks, man. Thank you for your time. Cheers to you. I'm going to crush the rest of what's in this glass because coming up next, guys, we've got another guest, and we're switching gears. We're going from beer to cocktail. And I hear that if it's beer between you might get sicker. We'll see what happens in a moment. Mr. Ryan Sandlin, thank you very, very much. Boys, this shit is delicious.
It's so
really good.
It's like,
Jesus.
I believe the Spanish word is fuego.
I wanted you guys to have it so much that I realized that I gave away the last cans that I had.
I actually never got one of those cans, and I noticed that the two white guys on the show got one, but I didn't get one, which is weird because it's called Black is Beautiful, and I'm brown, and brown got left out.
Black.
I'm gonna just sit in my discomfort for a minute.
That's okay. I really wanted to go. I just wanted to make you uncomfortable and also privileged. You'll be all right. Calm down. I'm just setting the scene for the show for people who haven't seen it before. It's gonna be okay, guys. It's totally fine. If you haven't noticed, my name's Yusuf, and for people who actually, normally our names are on the screen. I'm Yusuf. That's Brett. That guy's Adam, and that one in the corner, other Adam. Thanks for joining us. And it's about the halfway mark, gentlemen. But side by side view, my favorite. We do have a little something coming up here that is different. We are switching gears. Tell us what you're drinking in the comments. But this can is a lot bigger in person, everybody.
I gotta go get mine.
I got a hold of this. Just somehow this magical, whimsical fairy showed up at a place known as Arcadia Light, which doesn't exist, and dropped it off. And here we are with a portable potable. It sounds like something out of a goddamn Willy Wonka movie. But
hey, Adam, is it just me or is Yusuf really excited to have something on screen that makes his hands look big?
Shut up. That's upsetting.
It makes his hands look huge.
Huge hands, giant cans. These are giant cans. You know what? I'm going to bite my tongue. There are things I could have said. Just I'm not going to say.
I was like, no, dig up, stupid.
I'll be right back because I got to get ready for drink number 2 as well and guest number 2.
Which is perfectly fine. We'll see you in a minute, my friend. Thank you, by the way, for allowing your house to be the drop-off point for us as a safe and comfortable drop-off point. It was left at your door, and I'm ecstatic, guys. We've seen a lot of stuff recently for to-go drinks, to-go beers, to-go cocktails. We've seen everyone get innovative. People have bottled things. The breadfruit you guys saw. Last week did the pop-up, not necessarily a pop-up since they have a full restaurant, but they did a quick one-day event, and they gave us some of their rum punch that they bottled that had been sitting for a few months just in delicious. It was so good. It was so good. It was incredible. And we had what else? We had some stuff from the Brickyard. We had stuff from the Hidden House, from Cotton and Copper. We've gotten our hands on a lot of to-go drinks, but this is something I haven't seen yet because this is in a can. And this comes from one of my favorite spots, 2 spots really, that are working together. This one specifically says Bitter and Twisted on it, but Bitter and Twisted and Little Rituals are right downtown near the Suns Arena. And it's in a can. It's a cocktail in a can. Have you opened yours yet, Brett?
No, I have it right here. I had it in my. Keep it nice and chill. I'm
told that there are instructions to this, but without further ado, I want to bring in the gentleman who made this happen and has given us his time today, Mr. Aaron, aka Doc DeFeo. Aaron, Doc,
cheers, everybody.
What's going on, man?
Oh, just having some delicious canned cocktails.
Well, I was going to ask. The question is, what are you drinking? Tell us what you're drinking.
Well, I'm drinking an experimental canned cocktail that we're working on right now. It's another Spritz variation, but I think one of you today has an Apperol Spritz, right?
I think that's Adam Green.
Adam Green has the Apperol.
Yeah, no, that's definitely me.
Oh, wonderful. So we'll be Spritz buddies today.
But for 1 second, I'm just going to point out that other Adam has nothing. Okay, good. So
I don't know what glassware I need for this. So
there's the question that I got answered a few minutes ago. If you take a look at the can, when you get a hold of these, tell me more about this right here, Doc.
Oh, yeah. So if you just take your phone and scan the QR code on the side of the cans, it'll take you right to a website which will list all the instructions for the different drinks. Tell you exactly what you need. Most what we do is kind of plug and play. So all you'll really need is a glass and some ice. And I think we provided ice to you gentlemen today. But of course, as you pointed out earlier, the Sazerac does not need ice, but you do need a cold glass. And hopefully you've kept that Sazerac pretty frosty.
Should I use the artisan ice? You guys, it looked like artisan ice. I know it probably didn't come from artisan ice. Did it come from artisan ice?
No, it's our in-house super filtered. It comes out of our Hoshizaki ice machine.
I'm sorry. What was the name of this ice machine?
Hoshizaki. They make the 1-inch cubes.
So a Japanese cocktail ice machine is what we're talking about.
Yeah, basically, they're one of the older ice machine brands. They make all types of different ice, but for reliability and for versatility, the Hoshizaki cubes are what we use at both of our properties. They're fantastic.
Mine came with a little atomizer, and I used a little QR code thing, and apparently I'm supposed to spritz my drink with this a time or two. Is that correct?
Yeah, you can spritz the inside of the glass if you want. You can also spray the top. It's a mixture of absinthe and lemon, so you get that great lemon that you would get from expressing the lemon peel, but we just did away with the lemon peel on this one. And then you get the absinthe that's super crucial to the Sazerac.
What if yours isn't on the website? Then what do you do?
Oh, yours is a special edition, I believe.
Well, then in that case, hold on, Doc. I'm going to give you a moment. This was a canned Apperol Spritz, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you guys a moment together to walk him through what he should do with his canned Apperol Spritz and vacuum sealed garnish.
Well, I'll tell you the first thing you need is sort of a larger goblet-y type of glass like what I have here. You can use a wine glass. You can use anything that has a little bit of room because we're going to want to fill it up with ice, and then we're going to want to stick a few of the garnishes in there. For you, I believe you have some repurposed orange slices that have a little bit of kind of a bitter, sweet component infused into them. So you can put those into the ice, and then it's just as simple as opening the can and putting it over the ice. And what we really love about the canned spritz, as opposed to doing it yourself, when you do it yourself, you buy the bottle of Apperol, you buy the bottle of Prosecco, you have to have soda water, then you have to build them in the glass, and it always gets flat. But since we super carbonate it, the bubbles last forever. They come out super, super fizzy every time, and just creates a uniform drinking experience that you just don't get when you make it, even at the bar.
Okay.
Hey,
well, I'm going to go get proper glassware.
Did I do this right?
Shove that thing in there. Shove it farther in there.
I put the ice in first, and I know this isn't the Apperol Spritz, but I figured I would. This didn't work the way I thought it was going to.
You can save it with like a spoon or something. You just take the spoon and push the cucumber down in the glass a little bit. It'll go right down the side of the glass.
Ladies, I just wanted to let you know this is the first time this has ever happened. I'm sorry. My cucumbers normally just go right in. I like that. I watched Brett Barry's eyes look up when I finished that sentence.
Oh, I was finishing my comment.
I'm going to use my thumbs, but oh look, a stirring spoon. There we go.
Yeah, just feed it down the side of the glass, and then yours, just like the Apperol Spritz, it's ready to go. You're just going to pour it right into over the ice. That one's fully carbonated as well.
Nice. I'm excited. So this got launched, like 2 weeks ago, I think. I saw Portable Potables getting teased.
Yeah, kind of at the beginning of the end of June, the beginning of the month is when we really started rolling. Full food program, full beverages to go, bottle shop to go. It's all there. I really want to talk about the food for a second, if I can.
I do. I want to let you talk about the food. Actually, I want to let's do that first. And I want to bring things back after that and talk about how this all started.
What about your ice does this? What do you do now?
You knock that off. I would imagine just kind of slice it.
Well, let's talk food, because I got a chance to see some of this the other day. Some of our industry friends got a taste of what you guys had a couple of days ago. I think 2 days ago, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to pull up your Bitter and Twisted menu. Is Chef Bob Tam still involved?
Yeah, Bob is behind the fantastic dim sum options that we have on the menu. He kind of reworked everything. One of our big priorities at Bitter and Twisted and at Little Rituals is safety. So we do everything that we can to keep our team as safe as possible. And part of that means we can't have 10 people in there prepping and stumbling over each other. So we had to essentially tool the menu so that we could have shorter prep hours, less people on the line at the same time. So Bob did a great job with that. And of course, as you know, his food is fantastic. So,
for people who don't know Chef Bob Tam, from what I remember, I was there one time. I've been there plenty of times, but one specific evening was with Dominic Armato, one of the food critics from Arizona Republic, and AZ Central. And they had a dinner, and I got introduced to Chef Bob Tam for the first time. He was the former R&D chef for P.F. Chang's, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yes, he did some work with them. Yeah.
So his resume was good, but the food at Bitter and Twisted is absolutely incredible. I'm going to pull up that menu real quick. Let's talk about it. Let's take a look.
Yeah,
so you can order this stuff to go right now.
Yep, you can pre-order stuff. You can get it delivered through different. I mean, it's best if you come pick it up, obviously, but you can get it delivered through Postmates is our preferable method. But you know, there are other delivery services that you can get it through. We're kind of available on everything, but ordering directly from us is always the best option.
I love shrimp shumai, by the way, and I know that's not traditional shumai because it's supposed to be pork shumai, but I grew up in a Muslim family. I didn't eat pork, and I just don't have a taste for it. So shrimp shumai blows my mind. There's cheesy egg rolls, bao royale with caramelized ground chuck. The self-control it took for me not to order everything off of this menu today before doing the show is incredible. It's a lot of self-control.
That whole menu is just ridiculous, man. Holy shit.
Oh, but take a look at this, guys. There's an impossible shumai in here. And Eric, tell me a little bit about this, because I know a lot of people are doing stuff with impossible burgers, impossible meat.
It's so
I mean, I think it definitely lends itself better. I think better than Beyond Meat. Have you tried both of them? They're very similar in a lot of ways, but the Impossible one for certain applications is just there's no substitute. This one, to me, as somebody who does eat meat but likes to take a break from eating meat from time to time, this was initially my very favorite item on this menu. I was mostly because I was blown away by how rich it was and like flavorful it was for a vegetarian dish, and also the veggie pot stickers are a close tie for me for my favorite.
So what would you pair with that, since it's one of your favorite dishes there? What to-go cocktail? I'm going to scroll down here in a second. I just want to make sure we put a note here for everybody that this is the to-go food and cocktails at Bitter and Twisted.
Well, if you want to, are you talking about with the Impossible? The Impossible one? I think, like, for me, a great pairing for a lot of these is actually the one you have, the Mr. Hendricks. Both the veggie pot stickers and the Impossible. I would pair with that probably. But Mr. Hendricks, oh man, that's such a great, simple but mind-blowing cocktail. Just so refreshing, especially out of the can.
You got a ton of cocktails in here right now for to-go options. The three classic can mix and match. Sorry, I bit my own tongue while speaking. Is great, and it's a great deal. I see this No Laws Pina Colada. What's the story behind that? Because this is priced completely differently than everything else.
Well, that's essentially our version of a White Claw type of seltzer beverage.
Ain't no laws if you're drinking No Laws.
Yeah, we're just we're having fun. We're changing out the different types of seltzer that we do. This one is pina colada. All the types that we do will be sort of reflecting sort of old crappy like 80s or 90s cocktails. Like we'll probably do a Sex on the Beach one down the road, but done really well, and of course dry, just like a White Claw. It tastes just like a really good version of a seltzer. It's a little higher alcohol too. So, by
the way, I don't know if it's a blend of the ice and the balance of this cocktail, but this Mr. Hendricks, at first reading what was in it, I was a little bit apprehensive, thinking like, this might not be super exciting or impressive, but you know what? Pardon my French. Fuck, this is good. Good.
It's really
I'm not
good.
kidding. This is great. I mean, was there a specific seltzer that was used? Was this just soda water? I mean,
Well,
this.
we do the whole thing. Everything we do, we kind of do. We have our own proprietary processes, but we super carbonate everything together. So when you drink that, you're not just drinking a drink like in a bar where you just get topped off with something out of the gun or out of a bottle. The entire drink itself is carbonated all the way through. So great mouthfeel, enhances all the flavors. Got the great lime in there, the cucumber. It's very clear, very crisp.
Hendrix is one of my favorite gins. So I mean, Doc, I know we talked a few times, but I'm a big gin guy. I love gin. Up until this year, basically, have traveled the last 5 years in a row to Spain, and it's like the first thing I do and the last thing I do is have a nice, delicious, botanical-filled gin and tonic in a proper, glass for it. So that's great because Hendrix is fantastic, and it's a cucumber gin, right? Like if they don't have cucumber, I don't order a Hendrix. If you don't have it, I'm not getting it.
Yeah, Hendrix is fantastic. It's got the cucumber and rose, the distillates of those blended in with the awesome gin. That's just a fun one. How's that Apperol Spritz? You enjoying it?
I want to see what Adam Green thinks about that Apperol Spritz.
Oh, you want to see that so much you just took me off the screen?
Well, I'm sorry. I just wanted to give him some space. Are your feelings hurt?
No, it's good. And I poured one for my fiance as well, and she's like, "That's a really good Apperol Spritz." And I'm like, I'd never had one before, I don't think, so I don't have anything to compare it to. But this is a really good drink. Like I get other drinks when I go to the bar, but like if I was served this, let's say, hey, try this. I drink like that's good.
I think they might have had you taste an Apperol Spritz once, possibly.
It wasn't that memorable. This one is good though.
There you go.
It's a great thing to integrate into your drinking habits, even if you're not a cocktail person. Just like taking a break from beer, to do a little cocktail thing, or taking a break from wine to switch over to a spritz. I mean, I've pretty much been drinking nothing but spritzes since this whole COVID thing happened. So,
it's refreshing as hell, and it's boozy, which is nice.
Yeah,
spritzes are great drinks, and correct me if I'm wrong, Doc, but they're kind of a daytime aperitivo beverage. It's an Italian drink. Aperol's an Italian liqueur, excuse me, but it's a daytime drink. You have it kind of after work. It's your happy hour beverage. It's low ABV, refreshing. Good for your stomach, an aperitif before you go have dinner, right?
Absolutely.
9.2% ABV, low ABV. Like for me, yes, but for the layman, 9.2 I think is pretty high.
Sure, have a shot for now.
You're drinking a smaller amount though too. Hopefully you're not just pounding can after can.
You don't know me.
Well, I can only imagine. I've heard stories.
We shared some stories indeed. Guys, if you're just joining us, Mr. Aaron, a.k.a. Doc DeFeo, Bitter and Twisted Little Rituals, is with us, sharing some information. Chris says, gosh, I wish I had a 64-ounce spritz to sip while I'm chilling in the pool. I mean...
We can do it. We can do it.
Special order? I don't have a seltzer. I do not personally have a seltzer. Fuck off, Beer Bob.
This one I'm just highlighting because when Adam Ledford makes the comment and then signs it AL, it's like, we know, man.
It's
like,
fair.
Your name on it, Adam. Like it's...
Doc, for reference, Beer Bob pops in every once in a while and likes to harass me because you know what? I don't mind having a Truly, right? It's a seltzer. It's nice. It's light.
You don't mind having a Truly. You seek it out, man.
There's no drones dropping off Trulies at my house, Adam.
No, you go get them.
Don't embarrass me in front of my friends. Hey, Aaron, let's touch base on a couple other things. So obviously, I want to talk about you for a moment. We've got a little bit of time. We have plenty of time left. Actually, we've got more than 12 minutes. So, you and Ross got together when? Let's do maybe a Reader's Digest version of how Bitter and Twisted came to be and how Little Rituals came to be.
Well, Bitter and Twisted was Ross's brainchild. It was the bar that he basically wanted to do ever since he moved to the States, I don't know, probably 40 years ago, right, Ross? I'm sure he's watching this.
I hope so.
He came over from the UK to open a bar. and that was what he wanted to do. And he was very uncompromising in his vision, and he opened Bitter and Twisted to, I think at first, like, it was a weird reception in Phoenix because when he did it, there were still very few cocktail bars and cocktail programs in the Valley. Of course, over time, it became a powerhouse. And this whole time, I'm talking to him, and, we were friends, and we were talking about every step along the way. And then eventually he was like, why don't you open a place? And I just kept saying, oh, well, I'm biding my time. I'm trying to find the right option. And it just so happened that the right option happened to be joining him up here a couple of years ago to start up Little Rituals.
And that happened. And Little Rituals is, I still have people ask me where it is. And sometimes I forgot where it was at because it's, third, fourth floor of that hotel behind B&T. It's a Marriott. I know that much because I'm a big Marriott guy. You guys owe me money, Marriott. But but yeah, it's third floor, right?
Fourth floor of the Marriott, the Courtyard Marriott downtown. It's right next to Bitter and Twisted, maybe 25 yards away. Great view of the city, great view of the ballpark when the fireworks are going off. It's sleek downtown lounge. If you haven't seen the bar, there are pictures online, but it's really beautiful. And right before COVID, of course, we just installed all this new artwork inside of the building, so it looks better than it ever had. The most complete version
changed.
Rituals.
The last time I came out there, actually, the last two times I came out there, you guys had you had a drink that essentially had a mural in my glass. And I'm trying to find an image of that, but you know which one I'm talking about because it was that rice paper ink painting.
Yeah, the big city nights. Yeah,
that's what it is. And I wonder if I can find that photo quick enough to show it to people. But while I'm doing that real fast, I want to look at some photos of the food up close that you and I just talked about. This is the Bao Royale, right?
Oh yeah,
that looks good.
That looks incredible.
Well, and Bob just perfected the bao bun on the outside before. It was still pretty good before, but he made it even softer and more fluffy. I mean, this is just like the best, most decadent sort of little cheeseburger bite that you can imagine.
There's crunch on the outside, cheesy beef on the inside, both black and regular sesame seeds. I mean, this is one of the things that I love to look at is delicious food. So I enjoyed that, and it stayed there on the screen for a while. But dumplings are another one of my favorite things. And a guilty pleasure of mine is going to some of the Asian grocery stores here on Dobson Road because I live on Dobson. And you know how we've got all of those Asian grocery stores, Lily's, Baycon, H Mart, and buying frozen dumplings and cooking them. But this is the real deal right there. That looks delicious. So what are we looking at here? We've got two different dumplings, it looks like.
I think it's the you've got the pork pot sticker, I believe, and then you've got the shrimp shumai, and then the impossible one as well.
Man.
And that little bit of mustard on the impossible one, that's like my favorite part.
Now, I thought that we could only get this if we went out there to pick it up, but you told me earlier there is another option.
There is an option. You can use Postmates to do delivery. There are other options. Postmates is the only one right now. I believe you can get the cans delivered. Like Uber Eats will do food, but they don't do any of the booze.
Fair enough. But booze is right.
Is that where the changes in this COVID time? You talked about what you guys did pre-COVID, but during these last 4 months, like what have you guys done to adapt to get to this point?
Well, the first thing that we did is we closed both of our businesses because, again, safety of the community, safety of our team was number one. We actually closed the day before they actually shut down the city because we just saw the writing on the wall. And we wanted to be out in front of things, do things right. We didn't want to reopen at any time unless we felt like we could do it safely for both our customers and for our team. And so far, we have not gotten to that point. As you know, it's kind of just gotten worse. So we've been biding our time, but, we can't hold out forever. We thought initially it'd be 3 months. And then when 3 months turned into 5 months, we were like, well, we'd better get going on a secondary plan. which we've been talking about for a while, but we ended up putting together this to go program to offer as much of the same experience as we could at home without you actually being in the building.
Fair. And that's been, I mean, for me personally, it's been fun to experiment with making cocktails at home, but also grabbing stuff to go from places nearby. Have you guys had people reaching out about something we didn't touch on that page we were looking at, buying entire bottles to go? Because that's something not everyone is doing.
We can do that too. I think on that page that you were showing before, I think if you keep scrolling down, I believe you can
Indeed.
get a bottle shop. It
is a bottle shop, guys, online, spirits to go, and it says age restricted items. So calm down, everybody. But I mean, you've got 1 liters, which are often only designed for bars. So you're getting 1 liter bottles instead of the 750s you'll find at your Total Wines on here. It's a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, you can get it all packaged up. I mean, we'll do special order stuff too. Really, we'll do whatever people want. If you want to have a big party, hopefully you're not having a huge party, but let's just say you had a small intimate group of people or a business event or something where everyone was being responsible and you wanted to have canned cocktails there, we can do that too. If it's outside, if you're doing whatever, no judgment. But yeah, like we'll absolutely do special orders. We'll sell you any of these bottles if there's something fun that you can't find and we can get it. We'll get it for you. And of course, this will all be available at Little Rituals here in a few weeks too.
So how much did Yusuf's case of Fernet Branca cost him? I'm just curious.
Well, I'll give him a little break, give him a little discount, but
I get the Total Wine retail price.
I was gonna say, like, what's the monetary
for
So it's minus tax.
Yusuf tries to find non-monetary's way to get Fernet.
Guys, I'm trying to figure out how to get United Healthcare to pay for my Fernet because it's clearly something I'm taking for my digestion. Okay, that's what that is. It's a medicine. It costs omeprazole, and
I got a bunch of bottles here for you, buddy.
Yeah, and the fact that hold on, I want you to hold that up for a second, Aaron, because that Doc, that's got a little Fernet. There's a Fernet fucking koozie on the Fernet bottle. Like, recognize
like a wristband.
The respect.
Yeah. Oh man, that would be amazing.
You know what? Here's a great question to ask the audience, and we're gonna move on to something real quick. Doc, do you want to go? We had about 5 minutes left. I want to go into. Do you want to touch on Little Rituals for a minute, and then I want to talk about Thirst Group because it's very important.
Yes, yeah. So Little Rituals coming in a couple of weeks. We'll have the full functionality, the same as Bitter and Twisted, bottle shop, to go canned cocktails, food. Just keep on the lookout for that. Some other fun surprises for people.
Is there anything on the website that I can pull up real quick to show people?
Little Rituals, not yet, but very shortly. Like the website's still active. You can still see what we've got going on there on, when we're open for real, but beautiful pictures on there too. If you get a chance.
And I will pull it up real fast because it is a gorgeous website. It's very well done. Take a look, guys.
Ooh.
There's obviously a message here. The first thing you see is, sadly, due to current events, we will be closed. But beautiful. If you haven't been there, check out Little Rituals. It's a lot of fun. Let's talk Thirst Group because you guys are getting involved in the community and you're trying to help out other businesses, other bars, people who are affected by what's going on right now.
Yeah, so Thirst Group is sort of a nonpartisan grassroots lobbying movement that sort of sprung out of New York. A guy named Maxwell Britton, tremendous bartender, owns a bar out there. He and the founder of Agua Cachaça got together and they essentially put together this lobbying effort for bars, restaurants, nightclubs, entertainment venues, all these people who pay business interruption insurance, and they got all their claims denied. The single thing that would probably save most of this industry without having to bail out the industry is for the insurance companies to actually pay what we pay so much every month for.
You got a dog banging on the door over there?
Oh, God, you're going crazy.
Bring them up. We need a play.
Yeah, at the end of the show, we'll all share our pets. It's all good. It's totally fun. I got a link right here, but I'm going to bring up a website really fast so everybody can see what this looks like. Guys, it's thursgroup.org. Obviously, in the past, we've shown websites like this. SaveRestaurants.org is one of the things we mentioned when we had Chef Danielle and partner Dwayne from the Breadfruit and Big Marble on here. But Thirst Group is something a little bit different, and we haven't talked about this. You're right, because this is it's business interruption, and I'm affected by that personally, Doc, because I work in hospitality, so I do corporate events and meetings and trade shows and convention centers and hotels. That's not happening. We're not going to put 1,000 people in a meeting room. We can't even put 150 people in a bar right now. So.
Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty simple. What we're looking for is people to sign up for their support. We're looking for people in all different walks of life and districts in the state. Of course, having a lot of people from the main entertainment districts signing up is great, but I don't want to stop anyone from going on there and voicing your support. At a certain point, we need a lot of support from business owners to be able to go to the legislators and say, hey, these are all your constituents. We're suffering here. We're really suffering, and we're just asking you to do this thing, which doesn't, I mean, I don't know how the relationships are with our state legislators and the insurance companies. I'm sure that they are very familiar with each other, but and it's going to
that was a very coy way of saying.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, it's not going to be easy, but I think with overwhelming public support and industry support, I think it's something that can happen. There's already been a few bills introduced in California, a couple other states. It's not going to happen on a national level. It has to happen state to state because the main Senate and House of Representatives are not going to take up an issue like this. So, if anything, they're trying to make things less involved. They're trying to strip liabilities and trying to, but anyway, not to get into all that, but really just to say that if, we as venues pay so much money every year for insurance, if we could just get the coverage that we should get from, like, if this had been a hurricane or if this had been a fire or somebody drove a bus through your bar or, anything like that, we would have gotten covered. Instead,
so you want me to drive a bus through your bar is what you're saying? Well,
it'd be hard on the 4th floor, but if you want to try, I guess.
That's the only reason I said it, because if it ever happened, someone would call me.
We're always up for a challenge here. We can make
you know what? Never mind. Hold on a second. As the only person who looks Arab on the show, on the 4th floor of a hotel, you'd have to. Never mind. Let's move on.
I thought you were tapping into you had some sort of melanin expertise-based bus driving.
No, I was talking about having a magic carpet, Adam. What the hell were you thinking?
Oh, well, okay. I really thought you were going there.
That's fine. It's totally okay. Guys, if you want to support your local businesses, we've talked about this time and time again on the show. And thirstgroup.org, take a look at it. There's obviously some legislation that needs to get passed. And I read through some of that earlier, Doc. I appreciate you sending me that link earlier so I could look at it.
Of course.
There's a question from PJ here. What is the primary reason given for the denial of interruption claims?
Right now, there's a bunch of people, like very famous restaurateurs, much more famous than myself, like Thomas Keller and a cast of thousands that are suing the insurance companies right now. And the primary argument that's being given is that because there is no property damage to the property, you're not actually prevented from operating your business.
That's stupid.
So, I mean,
I love the line of thinking though, where it's like, okay, your normal insurance doesn't cover force majeure, acts of God claims. So let's make sure to have this interruption of business insurance that absolutely covers force majeure. But also this is a different thing, and so we don't have to pay that either. Like, now there's going to be COVID insurance on the back end of that. Like, where do you ever have profit?
That's, and we're not even saying, listen, we're talking about something fair and equitable. I'm not asking you to reimburse me all of our receipts from the last year. I'm not saying give me 6 months of revenue. I'm saying pay our rent, pay our expenses for the time that we're closed. Like, if you can do that, then it's worth paying the insurance. It's worth it. And and the amount of money that it would take to do that for all the businesses that are closed is so minuscule in comparison to like even these PPP loans and things like this. Just they're not structured correctly for what we need. We need rent relief. We need utilities relief. We need bill relief. And we need people to be able to make some money while they're at home or while they're forced to be at home. If you can do that, our businesses can stay closed indefinitely while we fight this. Otherwise, we're all in a bad situation. We're forced to come back and try to open up. And as I'm sure some of the people you've talked to can attest, like it's not easy to make money right now with, a quarter of the business and everybody's scared for their lives.
Doc, PJ has a good follow-up. I'm going to pop it up on the screen for a second, but if you don't mind, after the show, just popping in there and answering his question, I think it would be great because a lot of people would love to see that answer. Real quick, but does it cover acts of government in places where the closing was a state-ordered mandate? Stay tuned. Take a look at the comments and find out the answer to that question. Doc, thank you for your time. Don't go anywhere. We'd like to have a quick post-show toast. And yes, sir.
I just want to say to Doc, as somebody who used to work downtown for 10 years, a frequent visitor of Bitter and Twisted, and before I used to work across the street for 10 years at Big Four Life. This is bringing back the positive memories of working at Big Four, which would be I used to have a couple Sazeracs and about 3 orders of pork belly at Bitter and Twisted and go home a happy person. So
Nice.
Orders of pork belly. That's a beer name.
It is a good beer name. Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron, a.k.a. Doc DeFeo of Bitter Twisted Little Rituals, thank you so much. Hopefully this won't be the last time we have you on. Leading up to this, our original conversation, I was hoping to have you join us and make a cocktail with us. So if you're up for it in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, let's do it.
You want to do it?
Yeah, let's do it. Why not?
That's what I want to do, man. It'll look great. Actually, maybe we'll just have a cocktail duel live. It'll be fun. We'll pick somebody else. And
maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it from the bar.
Well, if we get ahead of this, like Chris was saying earlier in the comments, like let's plan out what we need. Let's give all of our viewers the shopping list, and we can have a live cocktail demo.
Hey, don't ruin any great business ideas, but I may or may not have planned on calling Doc tomorrow about something. So hang tight, guys, because maybe you might get a cocktail kit if Doc and Ross agree to it, and then you get to watch it live and do it together with the creators of said cocktail. Doc, I'll let you chew on that, but don't go anywhere. We'll end the show real quick. I've got a little bit more of this left. And, wait, there's a little bit more in the can. There we go. I split it in half, so
I got nothing left.
Cheers to you. Cheers to everybody watching. Thank you guys for joining us. Doc, you got anything left in your glass?
I got a little bit for you here.
Perfect. Guys, this has been another episode of Social Distance Drinking Club. Thank you for hanging tight, joining us with Ryan Sandlin from Dark Sky Brewing Company and Aaron Doc DeFeo from Bitter and Twisted and Little Rituals. We'll see you guys on Sunday for the Sunday Day Drink.